What's up, guys?
I'm Kale,
I'm Skylar.
and today we're doing our Q&A video.
Stay tuned.
Okay, so
Alright, so one of our first questions melts my heart, but it says, how are you guys so perfect? Well, my answer to that is nobody's perfect, but we do appreciate that. We are very cute. Anyway. Anyway, we're all perfect. Nobody's perfect.
yeah. So next question: what was the hardest part of your transition?
I feel for me, I guess it would have to be like, I don't know, for me, I always care what people think. I don't know why. Now I don't, but like at first, like I always cared what people thought. So like when I did it, I knew that so many people were uncomfortable with it, like especially like my family and stuff like that. So I feel like that was definitely one of the hardest parts. Because I never, right after I started transitioning, like the female pronouns, like I cringe every time I hear it. Like I can't do it. I'm like, if you call me that, I'm like, I'm sorry, who? What? What are you talking about? What was the best part about the transition? Everything. I definitely felt a lot more confident with myself. Again, going back to the didn't care what people thought, I was like who I was, and I was a lot more confident, like walking around everywhere and like being out and just like being me, and I was comfortable being me, and I've never been happier with being me. So yeah.
Like when other people get happy because I'm finally happy, that's like the best part. Like when other people are like, I'm so happy for you, or like your voice has dropped so much. I'm like, yeah, you keep coming.
Keep going with the comments. I like it.
I like
it. I gave it a comment.
You're like, yeah, my voice has dropped a little bit. Now it's going a little high right now, but it can go back really low. No, it's just like, when you first get your shot of tea, like, you know, like, you're gonna start, it's like your starting point, and like, that's when it's like this happiness I can't explain. Like, next question. Do you do it for the rest of your life?
Now, please define it.
And
yes. If you're talking about testosterone and like the injections and stuff like that, yes. I mean, you can stop at any time.
I think the only thing is when you do stop, everything you accomplish throughout testosterone, like if I decided to stop right now, my little tiny peach fuzz would just like, it wouldn't grow any further. My voice wouldn't get any deeper. It just like, I wouldn't feel.
Yeah, like nothing, everything that you've accomplished so far would stay where it is. It wouldn't lessen any, but obviously it's not gonna, you know, you're not gonna gain more changes either. Anyway, next question. Oh, okay, I like this one. Is being trans a mental disorder? So, when Kayla and I first read this, we definitely both had like a blank moment. But we're gonna answer it as best as we can. Okay, so for me, and we had different answers too, but for me, when I think of a mental disorder, the first thing that pops into my head is like depression or like anxiety or like something along those terms. Like, you know, everybody knows that is a mental disorder. And like I feel like for that, like obviously you take meds and, you know, you go through whatever you need to go through to be able to either help you overcome that eventually over time or like stick through it, you know, while you go through it. Because like there are some people that, you know, they're diagnosed with depression at one age, but maybe 3 years later they grew up and that's not who they are anymore, and maybe they're not depressed or they don't have anxiety or something like that. But for me, trans I don't think is a mental disorder. A lot of people think it is, and that's okay. Obviously we all have our own opinions, but for me I say no, because I mean, yeah, there are some cases where, you know, someone could be trans and they could not like all these changes and they may not like who they are and they're like, what am I doing with my life? And then they go back to, you know, what they were, and that's totally fine. But for me, no.
My answer is just no. Like, there's no explanation. It's just not. It's not a mental disorder. Like, I don't need to explain myself. It's not. Okay. Yeah, what kind of discrimination do transgender people face? I would say we face a lot. In different ways, though. Like, in ways you can't... I'm not saying it's like a hate crime. Like, no one's gonna, like, throw a rock at our car and be like, you're fucking trans. Like, no one's gonna do that. But it's definitely, like... you know, people use the wrong pronouns because they don't like you, or they don't believe in what you're doing is right, so they'll treat you differently. Everything, I don't know. That's like the only kind of I face, I guess, or you face. Like,
you know, a lot of people, obviously, if they don't like you, they're going to be like, you know, and you're in a fight, they're going to probably, if they knew you before, they're probably going to throw that back in your face and make you feel like crap, because it does make you feel like crap.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know, I don't want to go back to that. Like, yeah, it's who I was, but this is who I am now. I don't want to go back to that. Or, you know, just someone just who's completely, like, against that stuff. Obviously, you know, haters going to hate. But yeah, we do, no, we get discriminated. I mean, it's all over the world, so, but
Yeah.
we just...
You learn to
ignore
brush it off your shoulder. Like,
It's hard to date.
If you find the right person, it's like really like fun, and it's like normal. Dating a trans person is dating anybody, like, in general. Like, it's not different. When I'm dating somebody, like, I would want them to respect me as a person and be like, hey, is it okay if I touch your chest?
Yeah,
You know,
don't make it weird.
Don't make it weird.
Like, as
It's
long
not-
as you guys are comfortable with it, don't make it weird, it'll be fine.
Will you vape and blow some circles for me? So keep in mind
We
that
are not professional vapors.
Yeah,
But we are doing our best under pressure for you.
for the question.
So, our last question and our favorite question, is because we both relate to it really well, is do you have support from family? Okay, so for me, no. But yes, at the same time. I definitely have a lot more support from my friends. My family is very religious, and they don't like what I did. I mean, obviously they love me and they'll accept me no matter what, but it is difficult. They're still getting used to it. They definitely screw up a lot with like the he, she, you know, pronouns, stuff like that. I mean, they're fine with like my name change and all that, but the whole actual, you know, going from female to male part, that's the part that they have the hardest with. And that's totally understandable, because they grew up with me, you know, how I was born and, you know, raised for 17, 18 years. And I totally get that. But it is hard, because I really wish that they would just see how happy I am and just, like, you know, stuff like that. My mom, I cannot be thankful enough for my mom. My mom is so supportive in this. She's, like, one of my only family members that is so, like, proud of me and believes in me every step of the way. She actually was the one who, like, gave me the little push to get my first shot of tea and to get my surgery. She was there through surgery for me, and she was there through everything, and I love her so much for it, and I just am so lucky to have her as my mom. But, like, my friends, they support me, but it is... I have family support, but I don't at the same time, but... Like, for my family who doesn't support me, I really wish that they could just see, like, how happy I am and stuff like that. Because support is definitely a big thing with something like this. When you go throughout a big change, support's pretty major. And sometimes if you don't have it, you know, it kind of brings you down a little bit. But it all works out in the end.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Like, my family, though, is, like, so, like, I think they're 100% on board. Except, like, there's a person in my family who just doesn't accept it. But honestly, like, at this point in my transition, I don't really talk to them anymore, because honestly I try and cut all the negativity out, because it really doesn't matter. So but yeah, my mom and dad, they knew way before I kind of like came out anyways. But yeah, we both have really good support from our friends, and yeah, but
Each other.
and each other.
Thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate all the questions. We actually had a fun time answering all the questions. Be sure to like and comment and all that YouTube stuff, and be here for next week's video. Bye, guys.
Bye. Well, assume the positions.